Stay blessed, keep stacking, turn up my mic. Welcome to the real bread life. Welcome to the real bread life. Welcome to the real bread life. Welcome back, real bread life, resilience, building legacy. I got a new guest here with me, Brandon, fellow bread guy. I met Brandon probably about 8-9 years ago.
Well, it's been that long, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually met him through another bread man, my boy Biggie, Remy, aka Big Kev. That's another episode. We'll talk about him when he gets here. So, Brandon, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time out to do this with me. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. First, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Wallingford. My family itself is originally from the New Haven area. Okay. And I've been a lifelong resident of Wallingford, Connecticut for, unfortunately, 51 years now. Yeah.
We're going to be fortunate to have those 51 years.
That's right.
So, I know you haven't always been doing bread.
Nope.
What did you do before bread?
Well, I had a lot of different jobs growing up. You know,
so you work for yourself?
For the most part, I've always somehow, some way worked for myself. But
okay.
I've had normal jobs. You know.
What do you mean normal?
You know, 9 to 5 or whatever, working for somebody else.
Okay.
On a regular basis.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I haven't had one of those in going on 26 years now, almost in June.
Okay. So were you like the rest of us at 16, can't wait to get that job on the books?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, had numerous of part-time jobs. I can't say when I was younger I probably was the best employee, you know? I gotta be honest. But, yeah, I definitely went through a lot of different jobs, but I always knew I wanted to work for myself and okay. Made it happen.
Okay. So how did you come into working for yourself?
One day, a long time ago, when I had hair and my whiskers weren't gray, about almost 26 years ago, a good friend of mine, he was doing Martin's potato bread. And he'd always talk about doing the bread world and everything, and he's always, you know, how he was tired, and I was thinking to myself, come on.
Tired doing bread, right?
What do you mean you're tired? You know?
The misconception.
Yeah, you know.
It's just bread.
So one day he hurt his back. And he asked me to do him a favor. At the time, I owned a small landscape and hauling business. Mm-hmm. And one of my main guys that worked for me, I had him run the business for a couple weeks, you know. I helped out my buddy. First day on the truck, not gonna lie to you, first time I ever got up that early in the morning, you know. But
how early?
God, I think he used to start around 3-ish, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. So you said Martin's.
Martin's potato bread, yeah.
So it's kind of heavy. The potato bread's kind of heavy.
Not really. You know. So yeah, I got up one day and went to work with him. I fell in love with the business right out of the gate. I started asking questions because we had a lot of windshield time from each stop to each stop.
Okay.
Especially back then, Martin's potato bread was just breaking into the state.
What area was that when you were doing it?
He had an incredibly large area. He went from, I believe it or not, from basically New Haven, he owned all the way to like the Rhode Island border.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Basically
all up and down the coast.
Up and down 95. Yep. Stop and shops, A&Ps, which were around back then, not anymore.
Right. A&P, didn't some of those get absorbed? Is that like the Bazzutos?
Most of the A&Ps, if they got absorbed at all, they took the buildings, probably for location. Like ShopRites took a few.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So they went out of business and all the other markets just moved in?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know why I thought. You know what it is? Because in my area, I remember a few of the A&Ps are now IGA stores, and I know some of them run through Bazzutos. That's why I probably just assumed that.
Most IGA stores now, they've got a contract with Bazzutos.
Okay.
You know, they do the refrigeration, they get the new refrigerators, updating the places.
All right, so up and down the coast, 95.
Yeah, 95. Put a lot of miles on, but you know, you only have a certain amount of time during the day, so we only did whatever stops he can fit into that schedule for that day. He used to plan his schedule ahead.
So he was really 5 days a week heavy.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if not 6.
Wow.
Yeah, we were pushing some product back then, and again, they were fairly new to the area. And now Martin's is
huge.
Yeah, they are. They're getting bigger and bigger. Still family owned. Best company that I ever worked for.
Really?
But, oh yeah, no question about it. No, hands down.
Did they have the short code back then like they have now?
They do, and that's not going to change anytime soon.
That's the quality of the bread that they put out.
Believed that after 3-4 days,
take it off the shelf.
Yep, because it loses its luster and it's not as fresh as they want a fresh product.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it's been working for them. They're still around, and like you said, they've been growing since then. 20-something years, almost 30 years.
Live by the same motto. Still family owned. It's a great company. Great company.
So you jumped in with him.
Picked his brain, and I said, you know, by the end of the day, I'm like, how much you make a year? You know, and he told me, and I'm basically, you know, I can't say it on camera. I'm like, get them, you know.
Was it 6 figures back then?
For him it was, yes.
Yeah, because
for him it was.
The
because
volume you're telling me he was
territory.
doing, it had to be massive.
We ended up working out a deal where I took almost half of his route because it was too big. It was too big for anybody to handle, unless you wanted to put multiple trucks on or something like that. But I wasn't really interested in working at that point for somebody else. I wanted to get in this. I wanted to get my foot in the door.
Absolutely.
That's basically what I wanted. I wanted in.
Okay.
So when I got back this is the honest to God truth. When I got back from that first day of working with him, tired because I got up at 2:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning.
That was foreign to you.
You know, back then I was 25 years old. I'm coming home at 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. You know, you're not getting up for work at that time. You know, come on. You know, definitely a lifestyle change. So
yeah,
for any of you out there looking for a lifestyle change, that's how you're gonna do it, right there. No questions about it.
Yeah,
but
it's funny. I'll let you get back to it. When I first started, that's what I was doing. I was still working other jobs.
And doing the bread thing?
Yeah, and I was doing the bread, and sometimes we were doing clubs. You know, guys that I grew up with, we were doing clubs. So I was working doors at the club, and then, you know, after the night, I would go right and load the truck.
Which ran into that kind of schedule,
which was great, but except for the nights when I would have drinks. When I was enjoying myself. But, you know, I did it. I toughed it out.
We all did, yeah.
That didn't last long at all.
No.
Not at all.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, there's no cheating.
Except for Tuesdays and Saturday nights because you don't work Wednesdays or Sundays. So if you want to stay up late.
Tuesday is the Friday, Breadman's Friday.
All day.
But go ahead, you got back.
So I got back that day. And again, this is the honest to God truth. I got back that day and I talked to my buddy George, who was my main employee. I'm going on and on about it. I said, man, he makes, you know, pretty good bread. Right?
Yeah.
You know, he's doing all right. I said, dude, for delivering bread. You know,
he's
still naive at the time.
He's making really good bread, delivering bread.
Correct.
Hence the bread life. Go on.
That's my plug to you.
Check is in the mail.
So he started talking about buying me out. He goes, you know, if you really want to do it. Next thing I know, I helped him out for a couple more days after that. I'd say about a week or two. Still one of my best friends. Ended up working out a deal. Met at the time you had wholesalers. Like we have a depot we go to, and
absolutely.
Back then there was wholesalers. It was, you know, these guys ran the distribution.
Absolutely. Oh, so it wasn't.
Basically, we're buying your product from them.
Gotcha.
You know, kind of thing. They were like a middleman for us. So talk with them. They arranged it. Because they knew that Christopher had just way too much territory.
Yeah, they were probably happy to see someone come and help take some of that off.
And plus the other guys that butted up against that territory, they also had just a huge amount of territory. Right. So everybody gave up a little chunk. We ended up creating a pretty solid route.
So you guys created territories.
Yep. Well, everybody had their own territory.
But they broke it up.
A chunk. Yeah, everybody gave up a chunk, and that's how I got in, man.
And started with the Martins.
Started with the Martins. Was with Martins for about 4 years, and then sold that.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Stay blessed, keep stacking, turn up my mic. Welcome to the real bread life. Welcome to the real bread life. Welcome to the real bread life.